All right, let's try this again. Hey, everybody. Hoot the Carnivore here. Or Gary. Sitting here watching the 24-hour live stream of the Carnivores to make a movie, documentary. And it was full of testimonials and very inspiring. Personally, I've been on this journey for going on about 8 years now. 8 years ago, I decided I needed to get off the alcohol. I'd been an alcoholic for, since from 14 until, 8 years ago. I'm 56 now, so late into my 40s. And I managed to get off the alcohol. And once I got off the alcohol, then I was able to cut back on the sugar. And I had neuropathy in my feet. It's horrible. Couldn't hardly walk. And once I got off the alcohol and then I stopped the sugar, the pain eased up a little bit. And I went through, still painful, and I had pain joints, knees, ankles, elbows, shoulders, back, neck, pain all over. I was a football player in college and took a beating and had the most horrible diet my whole life. Well, fast forward, I was watching, I turned on YouTube one day and there was a keto show. I can't remember what it was now, but I started watching and I was like, that sounds like a healthy diet. So I moved to mainly vegetables, a little bit of course, lean meat, what the doctor would tell you. And I honestly, keto, I dropped from 295 pounds to 205 pounds at my lightest. And that was on keto. But in the meantime, on keto, and I was eating lots of vegetables, heavy vegetables. And I'd cut most of the seed oils out. I'm still using olive oil. But I developed AFib. And the doctors, they have no idea. They couldn't tell me where it came from. At first, I thought, well, maybe I'd let my electrolytes drop, and that was it. But later on, after this, because it was right about that time, right about the same time as the AFib, where I was watching YouTube and a feed for Dr. Barry. He was interviewing Kelly Hogan. And she had talked about being a carnivore for the last 14 years. And I don't know what it was, but it just sounded right. And so shortly after that, I was watching Dr. Barry regularly, and then Dr. Chafee popped up. And I dug into him. Of course, the first show I watched of his was Plants Are Trying to Kill You. And it just made sense. Everything that I had been going through, the bloating after every meal, of course, after just going keto, the snoring went away, the sleep apnea went away. I felt a lot better, but I was still in pain. And after moving to Carnivore and doing that for a year and a half now, I'm still having a little bit of pains. They're way, way, way manageable now. I've had a lower back pain since I was 19, and it is almost gone away. At least I can function. And then a while back, I was watching Chafee again, and he was telling a story about coffee. And I said, God, I have quit everything else. I feel like a monk, but I feel so healthy. I was like, I would hate, okay. So I quit drinking coffee for 30 days. Sure enough, pain in my shoulder went away. A different pain, not the pain I'd been suffering my whole life with since I was 19, but I've been suffering another pain for years now. And that pain went away. So at 31 days, I made a pot of coffee and drank it. The next day, sure enough, my shoulder was sore again. Pain was back. So I quit drinking coffee for 2 weeks. Started drinking coffee till after 2 weeks, I drank another cup of coffee. Sure enough, pain come back in my back. And I stopped for another 30 days. Well, now I finally figured out if I drink a cup of coffee a week, 1 8-ounce cup of coffee a week, I get a little bit of discomfort in my shoulder, but I like coffee, and at least it's a conscious effort or a conscious decision to be in the pain. But guys, the 24-hour live feed was incredible. I want you to know, fortunately, I had turned it around and been a carnivore for about 1.5 years, and it's amazing. I feel so healthy. I'm so happy I found it, and I want to give a shout out to all the doctors that was involved that came on the show and gave their knowledge. For Carrie from Homestead How, y'all did an amazing job, and all the mediators, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I know you're going to change a lot of people's lives. Thank you.